The South African Football Association has called the Hawks raid on the federation malicious and said that they will begin civil action for defamation of character against those involved in the naming of the SAFA President's name in an ongoing investigation. There has been no further word from the Hawks after this assertion by the football body. Somebody who knows about being charged by SAFA after calling for action is forensic investigator Bart Henderson. He joins us now. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Good to be chatting to you once again. So last year we had a petition that was well received, over 10,000 people voting for what you were calling for, the removal of the SAFA president as well as the SAFA CEO. But then promptly the federation then launched a case against you. Can you get us up to speed with what the latest is there?
Well, I think just for a little bit of clarity, the petition and the report that we're referring to, I was addressing a litany of issues that have been raised over a period of almost a decade, dealing with questions of mismanagement at SAFA. Most of the information, all of the information, as a matter of fact, is part of public record, part of court actions. The petition specifically says that there needs to be an investigation into SAFA, and that these are very serious allegations, and that in the interim, so that there's no interference in an investigation, Danny Jordan should either step aside or step down, and so should the CFO. That's normal practice, it's standard, and it's just basically good corporate governance. So, you know, whether he should be fired, that's not up to me to decide. But I do think there are a myriad of governance issues that have been raised over a period of time that do indicate that there is mismanagement at SAFA, and there should be an investigation, and pending the outcome of that investigation, you can't have the two people that are subject of the investigation maintaining their positions and remaining in situ during the course of the investigation. So I'm not calling for him to be fired. I'm saying that there must be an investigation into SAFA, and the two individuals should step down. Where we are at the moment, you know, as I've intimated before, I'm engaged with numerous different matters of much more or greater import than SAFA. I regard the allegations or the charges against me as merely being strategic litigation against public participation. It's an irritation. It's meant to intimidate. It's meant to silence me, which obviously it's not doing. And I think SAFA should occupy themselves with addressing the issues that are raised in the report instead of laying spurious complaints and initiating investigations against me. One would wonder why they don't just answer to the allegations in the report.
Yeah.
The Hawks' action now, of late, you know, people are saying, "Oh, Bart, do you feel vindicated?" Well, not really, because most of the charges that are being investigated by the Hawks are contained in other people's complaints and charges. So, you know, I think it's telling, though, that instead of answering to those specific charges, that SAFA would rather challenge how the information was come about, you know, by pursuing charges of, I believe, I haven't really heard what I'm being charged with directly from anybody, but it is POPIA and criminal defamation, which I'm happy to answer for, and I'll stand behind my report. Yeah. But I really think SAFA should rather answer to those specific transactions that they find offensive, as opposed to saying, well, where did you get the information from?
Yeah. Your audit report went about trying to answer one question, and that was what happened to the money that was given to South Africa by FIFA, which was supposed to be a part of the legacy that was left by the 2010 World Cup. Now, I know that you're involved with many other investigations, but having seen the initial charge or what the Hawks were given the warrant for, which was for 1.3 million rand fraud and theft at the South African Football Association, and the kinds of numbers that you've uncovered. Were you not surprised perhaps at just how little the Hawks were kind of investigating, or what they kind of have got the search warrant for their raid?
Look, I mean, I'm a pragmatist. In matters like this, the Hawks will go with the evidence that they've got, or they've managed to establish has a reasonable chance of success in terms of a successful prosecution. But to answer the question of whether I was surprised by the small quantum, absolutely. I mean, there's when we're talking about the FIFA Legacy Trust, there are a whole host of issues that have still not been dealt with. Some of them have come up subsequent to my investigation report, which I've parked. And pardon the pun, because when I say I've parked, one of the questions that I still want to raise is 15 or 20 million rand invested in an academy in KwaZulu-Natal called Hoy Park, and that needs to be interrogated, and that's a substantial amount of money. And other than that, there's obviously the question of Fun Valley, how it was acquired and how much it's cost, and why it was bought in the first place, and whether there was fruitless and wasteful expenditure involved there. So there is a tremendous amount of money that has been spent both at the Legacy Trust and at SAFA, where questions need to be asked and answers need to be given to the public.
Are you quite surprised that Jordan still manages to hold on to his position in light of all of the allegations and in light of all of the, now even a raid by the Hawks on the South African Football Association's head office?
Hell no. This is 2024, and I'm a pragmatist. I'm not surprised at all. We have, just looking at all the allegations of fraud and corruption that swirl around almost every single state-owned enterprise in the country, and people maintain their position. So I'm not surprised in the least that no action has been taken by SAFA itself and its NEC to either suspend or remove Danny Jordan from his position, pending the outcome of an full independent and transparent forensic investigation into the affairs of SAFA, as well as the FIFA 2010 Legacy Trust.
You got a number of signatories on the petition. Did you, obviously those are anonymous, but have you had people from the footballing fraternity support what you're doing that are maybe perhaps just a little bit scared to talk out?
Outside of the SAFA compound, for want of a better word, there are literally thousands of the soccer-loving public, as well as individuals that are part of the structures that have signed the petition. So yeah, outside of the NEC and probably the regions and the presidents, etc., the real top structure, on the ground there is tremendous support for the petition. 10,500 signatures. Getting South Africans to be motivated to do anything outside of their comfort zones is not an easy thing. So I think 10,500 signatures is no small feat, and a substantive number of that are people from the soccer fraternity, for sure.
Forensic investigator Bart Henderson, thank you so much for your time chatting to us here on Newzroom Africa. We do appreciate it.